Hello there traders, welcome to Elite Currency. My name is Chris and this video is all about the euro dollar and pound dollar. Let's start. Alright, so the euro dollar managed to pull away from the 21 EMA here on Friday. I was saying that this is a bouncing spot probably when considering the formation here that we could see at the 21 EMA. And the HMA bullish, and we did get a break and bounce to the upside from about 116 to about 117.30. But price was not able to break through the key resistance zone right here, and also our key fib. If you put a fib from here to here, that was the third whiz level, and price was not able to break above that and the previous stop. So what does that mean? That means that we saw bearish price action, a bounce at the key resistance zone, and with this particular bearish candle engulfing, well, not engulfing twins, but a very strong bearish candle, we saw some more downside after that. So in that case, I think that this is starting to be more like an expanded correction to the downside. I think the price could therefore fall further, and the main target could be at 114.50, 115, which is where a new decision zone is placed, or you can be found. Let's put the fib from on this swing, which is still the most bullish swing, the most impulsive swing, and you can see why that zone is important, because there is a 61.8 fib and a 50 fib. And you can see that those two, of course, are a strong support zone, and price could bounce there. If it breaks through it, then there could be more downside down to these 88.6 fib, deeper fibs at 113-ish, 113.50 here. Well, sorry, 113.50, 113.90. All right, so I think for the moment, price is trying to break below the 21 EMA. That sometimes is difficult, so I wouldn't be surprised if price in the weekend or after the weekend in the open makes a little bit of a dip down, but then ultimately still corrects back to the 21 EMA, makes kind of flag like this, and then breaks and continues like this to those targets at the fib levels there. All right, so let's get this off and renew the template a little bit so we can see it more clearly. There we go. So on the daily chart, we had a bearish candle as we're trying to break through the 21 EMA, and on the weekly chart, we had a bullish candle, but with a wick at the top, just like 2 weeks ago, and last week was a bearish candle. So to me, starting to look more like that price can make a little bit of a dip back to maybe this head and shoulders level, and then bounce again up to 118, 120. Now, if it breaks to 114.50, then yes, there's more bearish pressure to be expected, down to 113.50, 114, and if it breaks that, then of course we're looking at a totally different perspective, a totally different pattern if we break through this bottom, because in that case, price is not making a wave A, B, C, but expanding the downside. To me, it looks like 5 waves has been completed, and that an A, B, C is likely here, like this. But if it breaks this bottom, well, then something else is going on, and it's expanding the bearish trend somehow. I don't know how, because to me 5 waves seem completed, but it's somehow expanding this wave 5 to the downside, and we could probably put a fib maybe from here to here, for instance, right? And the target could be 112.50, and if we put it from here to here, there we go, the target could be maybe even 110. So those round levels again being very important, but that's if, of course, price manages to break through this bottom at, I think it's 113, this bottom, let me check very quickly. Low is 113 exactly indeed. All right, so that's it for the moment. I think that if price breaks through this 21 EMA, it also depends on how it breaks. If there's a big wick at the bottom of the daily candle, that could indicate a bounce rather than a breakout. Whereas if there's a strong impulsive candle, and it's so strong that it's pushing right at 114.50 like this, then a breakout starts to become more likely. So this is an important factor as well, the price action on the daily chart. But for the moment, I think like this pattern is likely to complete a wave C. I think that this could be wave A, this is a wave B. We go down for wave C like this to complete a bigger wave B right here after completing a wave A here, and up it goes for a wave C. This is what I'm expecting for the moment. Pound dollar. The cable moved from that third whiz level and the 21 EMA. We already indicated on Thursday that these fractals are in the 21 EMA, and the 21 EMA is getting a bullish angle, that's looking like a continuation setup, and indeed moved up to that fourth whiz level. And this is something we traded ourselves and also mentioned in our service ECS Live, from the break of the third to the fourth whiz level for some 80 pips, I believe, 75, 80 pips. Very nice zone and good continuation. Now, will price head to the fifth whiz level? That's the main question here at 132.70, close to that 132.50, 133 round levels. Now, that's possible, I think, if price bounces at the third whiz level on the 21 EMA, makes a move up again like this, bounces at this zone, and or breaks above the fourth whiz level, then there's that possibility, I think, and a good chance that it will continue to that fifth whiz level. The key support zone, I would say, is this fractal, probably plus the third whiz level and these tops here. That seems like an important zone around 130.40 down to around 130.25. So if it bounces now or above this zone, shows bullish engulfing twins or some bullish pattern plus HMA up, that could indicate, or break above the fourth whiz level, then indeed that target starts to become more likely. Now, if it breaks below that zone, then in that case, it could be the end of a rising wedge, because if you connect the dots, the support and resistance, the angle of the resistance is weaker than the support, and in that case, if it breaks below 130.25, there is a chance that this particular rising wedge is finished and is over and could mean the end of this correction. In that case, it is looking like that the three-wave correction, this being part 1, part 2, part 3, is over, and if you break below here, there could be actually a bearish breakout. Let's take a look at the daily chart, and you can see that this correction is, to me, actually doesn't look over yet. I think that it is above the 21 EMA. Also keep in mind that 21 EMA still is also a pretty thick support zone, not only 130, 130.25 here. So if it does break below it, we're still running into support on the daily chart. That's good to be aware of, and it could actually expand. So we might get a bearish correction, but still bounce here and then still continue to that long-term moving average. That's possible. Price is above the 21 EMA, and the target in that case is typically the long-term moving average. So on the daily chart, it would really need to break below the daily 21 EMA here, like this, before below this level, before we get a bearish breakout on the daily chart. And on the weekly chart, bullish candle basically. So keeping that momentum to the upside for the moment. All right, so I think that if we break through this support zone, there could be a bigger correction, but ultimately be careful of the support zone a bit lower. If it breaks through that, then we're looking at a bearish breakout. If we get a bounce here or here, specifically the first one, that 129.75 is the main target. All right, so on the hourly chart, it could be good to keep an eye on the break above the 21 EMA. In that case, price is back above this support trend line as well. And that's about it, I think, for the moment. As always, with the 21 EMA, when price is below it, wait for a break, pullback continuation. This pullback and bounce is important so that it kind of confirms that the breakout is not a false break. Because if it breaks, runs into this resistance, right, but then it turns out to be a head and shoulders, then moves down lower a lot, then that's not what you want, of course. You want a break, sustainable break, pullback, wait for the bounce here and continuation, and then it's good to go. Whereas if it moves down quickly like this, it could actually head back to this support zone and then bounce. All right, so that's something to be careful of. All right, more free analysis you can find on our website, elitecurrency.com. Wish you all great trading this week, and see you soon. Cheers.